you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I'm Robert Horn, 79 years old. I was born in Arkansas, 1931. My hometown, most of my life, was over in Salinas, California.
Okay.
That's where I grew up and spent most of my early years.
Salinas, California.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, when did you first read the book *The Grapes of Wrath* by John Steinbeck?
Yeah, that was interesting. I think I was about, 17 or 18 years old. I found the book in a library and was reading it in the library. And I remember clearly when I was reading it, I thought, my goodness, this is my life. This is some of the things I went through.
Okay.
And I was really amazed because up to that time I had not realized, really, that I went through some of those things.
Well, what provoked you to pick that book out of all the others?
I don't know if I could answer that exactly. I read everything.
Just a reader?
I just read everything, so I just happened to grab it.
And he was from Salinas,
And he
too.
was from Salinas, and that interested me. Somebody probably was talking about him, and so yeah, I just after I read that book by him, I read most of his other works too. And, I think he's my favorite author today.
All right, cool. Well, so you lived during the Great Depression and some of it.
Yes, up to about, I guess I was about 15 when it was over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your best memory during that?
Well, it's strange. I went through my mind a little bit trying to think of memories, but one of my best memories is sitting in the summertime in an orchard on top of a ladder, and we were picking fruit that month, and we were picking apricots, and those apricots were so big and juicy, they were just perfect. And I sat up there and ate. I was supposed to be picking,
Yeah.
but I sat up there and ate one after the other until I got literally sick. But they were so good.
Okay. And how old were you around then?
Yeah, good question. I guess about 9.
9. Okay. And what's your worst memory during the Great Depression?
Yes, my worst memory really is when my mother decided to leave my father. She came to us one day. I was the oldest. I had a brother next to me 2 years younger than me, and I had 3 other siblings who were younger. And she came to me and she said, "Bob, I'm going to leave your dad. I have to leave him. He's an alcoholic, and I just can't endure this existence anymore. I'm going to leave your father, and I'm leaving today. But before I go, we're going to go downtown. We're going to have a picture made." I said, "I'm not going to have any picture made." I was angry. I said, "I'm not going to do it." But I remember the day, and I have the picture somewhere here of me sitting there with no shoes on. None of us had shoes on. We didn't have shoes in the summertime. And I'm holding my sister, and my hair is down like this. And I remember just before we went in to take the picture, my mom sat out in the car and she didn't have any water or anything. Her hair was sticking up all over. I don't think she really had a good, decent comb. But anyway, she was licking her fingers and smoothing our hair out with her. That was a bad memory for me.
Okay. And were you still 9 during then?
I guess I was about 10.
You were about 10?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So, the whole time you lived through the Great Depression, how did you feel overall during then?
Yeah, during the time, actually, I think I was pretty happy.
You were
I
happy?
did not realize we were as poor as we were.
So
it was the only life I knew, so, it was normal to me.
So basic life to you was that?
Yeah, that was life to me, and I enjoyed it mostly, and, a few bad experiences, but most of all, I had a good time.
Okay. Did you ever get greatly depressed?
No, I don't think so. I'm not a person that dwells on things like that. I get depressed in the moment, and I usually get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
I'm glad for that.
Okay. And how long do you think the Great Depression lasted in your lifetime?
Well, I was born in 31, and it lasted until I was about 14, 15 years old, during the Second World War. That's when we kind of got out of it.
Okay. And so your family came together during it.
Yeah,
in some
when
way.
we came out during the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma area back there, we all came together. You know, my
Mhm.
dad, his two brothers, their wives, my grandma, and all the children. We came out in a model, old Model T Ford.
Model T Ford.
Yeah,
Okay. And it was pretty slow trip out here then.
it was because the old trucks back then, they wouldn't go over 30, 35 miles an hour. So it took us weeks to get out here, and we'd break down during the travel. We'd have a flat tire. They wouldn't have the proper things to fix it, so they'd have to take it off, hitchhike into town, and we would camp on the roadside, all the family, while they were gone. And then come back with a flat fixed, and we'd go on. Or sometimes it was the motor that went out, sometimes it was transmission. A lot of trouble.
And how many people do you think you were traveling with?